All right, everyone, welcome back to Out and About. It is the second annual 4th of July Ian Fidance episode. He's back in the motherfucking house. Ian,
Yes.
welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I've been hitting the gym specifically because last year I didn't like how I looked in my tank top.
Were you tubby, dear?
Oh, honey. Oh, honey, I've been tummy.
Well, you know what? You look good because we're here to celebrate America's birthday.
Thank you.
This is the 4th of July special.
Yes.
And by special, I mean I have nothing planned out about the 4th of July. We're going to talk about some American things.
Well, let's talk about the heat. I'm suffering. I don't have AC.
Right.
A Russian guy came over to look at my unit Saturday. He walked outside, started laughing, telling me it needs to be replaced. The office is closed. They took Juneteenth and really ran with it and closed for 5 days. What are you celebrating for lost time?
Well, you're in Brooklyn, dear.
I wish him a happy Juneteenth today in classic black late fashion. Anyway, cut it, Vinny. I am sweating my ass off.
Yep.
They go, well, you need a condenser. I go, I looked at the thing. It looks like fucking Iran bombed my AC unit.
Sure.
It
Absolutely.
looks like it's blown up.
You had a
from the
bunker
inside.
buster?
I had a
into your
bunker
AC
buster
unit?
in my AC. Yeah.
Jesus.
And so they're like, well, we have to order a part. We can bring you a fan if you'd like. And I'm like, oh, cool.
A fan, and then you have a cooler with just ice and the fan blowing out.
That's like losing an
poor
arm in
people.
war, and they're like, "Well, we can give you a hook." It's like, what are you talking about? This isn't helpful.
Oh, that's unreal. You said hook.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about things that we think are American later.
Do you have an ashtray?
One of the most. Oh, you can just ash on the carpet. It's fine. One of the most American things I've ever seen in my life. I was at a dog racing track with my grandfather.
Let's go.
It was the middle of the day. There we go. It was the middle of the day at the time. Okay.
Come on.
A guy turns
Vinny?
around.
I'm good.
A guy turns around. He turns around with 2 hooks for arms and a beer balanced between the two. That's
Oh
American.
my God, Jesus
That is-
Christ!
yeah.
Dog racing, American. Horse racing, American.
I really think that if
Camel
I did
racing,
lose a
not
hand,
American.
I would want a hook. I think I'd be a hook guy.
Yes, you'd be a hook guy.
I think I'd take it back.
Look at the. Look at the jewelry. You are the
Yeah,
most
you actually are
hook
a
guy I've ever seen.
I would put my
Like,
rings
you're a
on my hook.
You're not like an AI prosthetic, like
No.
Neuralink
No,
guy.
no,
You're a hook
no,
guy.
No, I'm not a guy that spends hours figuring out how to curl my hands. I'm a guy who just needs a hook for my cigs.
Yeah,
And
that's all
that's
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
One that you can you tense up here and it just kind of grips the cig.
Dude, years ago I went on a date and I had a broken hand. I got in a fight and I broke my thumb. My thumb popped out. And I went on a date and I forgot I had my cast. And when I walked by, I went to caress a girl's head and I just hit her in the head with my cast. Whoopsies.
What
Merry
town?
Christmas.
What town was this in?
Washington Square Park, New York.
What was the year?
2006, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
2006 with a broken Bush administration. You're walking around. That's peak Iraq War, baby.
Bro,
That's American Iraq War.
I was in New York during the Kerry Bush election, and it radicalized me to hate liberals because
Yeah.
everyone
Sure.
I knew was
Absolutely.
walking around like, I'm leaving, I'm going to Canada, blah, blah, blah. And then he won, and they're like, well, it's difficult to move. I'm like, oh my God.
You need a roadway moving code to get out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is funny. I find that whatever the majority of people like, I just naturally want to go the opposite way.
Well, yeah, and I'm struggling with, dude, also, can we stop the bags of coffee?
Yeah, I don't
Have
know
you
what
seen
that
this?
is. I have no
Am
idea.
I
what that is.
a kid? Just give me a Capri Sun. This
Yeah,
is fucking stupid.
Where are you
Of
getting
coffee?
coffee from?
Yeah, at the
Jesus
fucking.
Christ.
What?
This is a visual I can't get,
Mhm.
can't get enough of. Ian, I don't want to sound like your mother here. You got to stop smoking.
Dude, everyone's telling me that. Everyone needs to back the fuck off. How's that for American? Back off. Let me fucking live. Anyway, what was I complaining about?
You were complaining about
I don't remember.
you're being radicalized during the Bush years. This is a peak Iraq war. Fallujah
Oh.
had just happened. It was 2004. We're into 2006.
Oh.
Which I believe we're scaling back.
Actually, the
insurgency.
Bronx is gentrified Fallujah, by the way, because that place has turned into a war zone. Anyway, I am at a crossroads right now with politics because I hate every
Yeah.
politician, anyone in power. We should be against. The career politicians are just fed through corporations. They don't have our best interest
Yes,
in
Queen.
mind. They want to keep growing the rich and making us fucking suffer more and more.
Talk
and
about
then Zoran comes along, and I'm like, oh, God. I like this guy. Fuck Cuomo. I'm going to break my promise of all politicians are bad and say that he needs to be the mayor of New York because every mayor we've had is fucking broken and he hasn't been polluted by corporate interests yet.
He will be. When he
And
gets in
well,
there.
that's the thing. It's like I feel like I can.
He's gonna wait. I can get paid for this. Wait, people will pay to have me pass things.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I think for now I can vote for him and say Zoran's the guy, but once he goes past local politics, he's going to be corrupted. So getting in with him on the ground floor is like, all right, he's my guy. He's going to make the city better. I'm at my heart, I'm a socialist. At my heart, I believe in power to the people, but then in the grand scheme of things, I think Bernie's the only politician I've ever been like, this is our guy. This is what we got to do. But everyone else fucking sucks. And
here's the thing. I don't know enough about either side. I'll go to this morning on the train ride in. I just put in ChatGPT. I was like, who is running for mayor? And give me
Hilarious.
2 bullet points of what each of them is.
Yeah.
And then I had to look up what's the primary. I was like, so are we deciding today? Like, what is happening? I mean, I'm not going to vote. Of course I'm not going to vote. But, I don't know.
I will say...
I like people who die on a hill.
Zoran,
it doesn't matter left or right. I just think it's so funny if someone is so hell-bent on something, I respect it.
What's a hill you're willing to die on?
Oh, God.
Mine's Capitol Hill, because fuck D.C.
Mine's Capitol Hill. I don't know what's a hill I'm willing to die on. Probably the diabetic hill. My sugars.
What's that?
It's just I'm willing to die over
You're
sugar.
diabetic?
I'm pre.
Really?
Full-blown pre.
Wow. See,
And
I'm
shout out
not
to-
because I don't go to doctors.
When's the last time you went to a doctor?
Well, I've been to the hospital, but I haven't been to a doctor.
What were you in the hospital for?
Recently?
Yeah.
I stage dived during Turnstile in Detroit. No one caught me, and I busted my back. I have
Busted
video
your
if you'd like
back?
to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see
like
it.
to-
Yeah, I'd actually.
should I
I
send
would
it to Vinny?
love to see that video,
Okay.
and we'll make sure we send it over after.
Okay. What's your number? Here, hold on.
You got me.
Let me find it.
I also don't understand what you just said. You stage dived at Turnstile in Detroit. Turnstile is a band,
Turnstile's a band.
or over the turnstile on the one train.
Well, I've hurt my back doing that as well. Here,
Wait, as attending a concert, you
type my number in. So I still go to shows, and I still stage dive, and I mosh, and I lose my mind, and
It's a good outlet.
It's a great outlet. But a therapist one time said, you really need to go back into your mosh pit and get your anger out.
and that's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Are you still listening to ska?
Always. I listen to ska, punk rock, hardcore. I go to shows. I don't really go to ska shows. I go to hardcore shows, and I stage dive, and it's so fun.
What about rap?
You
Gangsta
jump,
rap?
don't like it. I do a front flip off the stage. Fun. This time I jumped, and I looked like a salmon swimming upstream, and nobody caught me. I fell.
I feel like that's something you should You should be making eye contact
Well, I didn't
with
have my
people
glasses
as
on.
you're. So you're not only are you stage diving, you're cross-eyed while you're doing it.
Bro,
You're going like this.
last year at this, so it's a music fest called Tie Down in Detroit. It's amazing. You can't put it up there?
That's all right.
It's not coming to my.
Just give it a second.
Yeah.
So last year I stage dived, and someone took a picture of it, and that became the picture of the weekend. We put it on a shirt. Amazing.
Right.
So then this year I kind of got a little cocky.
Well,
and
you
was
got
like-
overzealous.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna really do a good one. And not only
This
did
is
no
it.
one, that's me.
All right, let's take a look. Oh!
Just wait. Nothing. Did you see
Oh,
that?
so you went on your back, flat on your back.
Yeah, bro. I'm so lucky I didn't break my tailbone. I'm so lucky I didn't break anything. I just had a really bad bone bruise. I went to the hospital because my buddy, who's my doctor, was like, dude, you might have
Buddy who's
internal
my
bleeding.
doctor.
It's not getting better. Just go to the hospital. I went. I got x-rays, CAT scans. I was a little scared because I went to a hospital in Charlotte, and they gave me a chest x-ray. And I go, yeah, but I hurt my back. And I go, oh, we forgot. Okay, yeah, let me
Yeah,
write you a
no,
chest
that's not
x-ray.
great. That's not what you want to hear.
It's not good.
No. So
Yeah,
this is
and,
it.
and I'm sober, so I can't get the good stuff.
I was just gonna say. So when go to a hospital and you're sober, does that mean you're getting
Nothing.
nothing?
You're getting extra strength Tylenol.
But I feel like that's extreme sobriety. Like some people who are sober, if they go to a hospital and they have an injury, they'll still get a drip of something or they'll still give them a pill. But if you're sober, you're off drugs, you're off alcohol, you show up with a broken arm, they're giving you Tylenol.
Well, if you really, really need it, I would be like, look, yeah, give me something stronger. But I have been like, look, it's not as bad as where I need to, and then I take the Tylenol, it doesn't hit, and I'm like, oh fuck. I
Are
should've
you
just
on?
gotten
They have it on
so-
your file where if you show up to the hospital.
I tell them immediately. I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I'm a recovering drug addict. I need non-narcotics.
Yeah.
You know? But it's, like,
That'd be a hell of a way to get back on the sauce.
well,
huh?
part of my
Stage
brain is like,
diving on
dude,
those
it's a
foot.
freebie. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
That was the way you used to get pills. You used to just get injured and then
Right.
go in, and then your fucking dumb pharmacist is like, I'm not going to refill your prescription. You're like, well, fuck you, Vivek.
Yeah, you get mad. you get mad at them personally
Yeah.
for doing their job and
Oh,
abiding
dude,
by
years
the laws.
ago, my pharmacist had to sit me down and be like, you have a problem. I'm not giving you your Percocet. And I was like, Vivek, fuck you.
You know, just to bring it full circle here, that is a very uniquely American thing. I feel like in America, we have more of a drug issue than in most other countries. We are the consumer of drugs in America, whereas other countries are supplying
Dude,
us
if
drugs.
a great book is called Dreamland by Samuel Quinones, and he talks about the intersection of the opioid crisis and black tar heroin from Nayarit, Mexico, and how
God.
like it was almost like a smooth transition from getting people addicted to pain pills and then getting them addicted to heroin.
Well, the Sackler family just had to pay out how many billions? 4
Well,
or 5 billion they just paid out?
Yeah, but also it was all written on junk science. There was a one paragraph article by these guys named Herschel and Jick, and it was basically like, opiates are not addictive, and that's all it
Yeah.
said. And then everyone for decades was like, see, it's in the DSM-5, it's not addictive.
It'd be tapered off.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say, because of my drug abuse and alcohol abuse and in and out of jail and everything, my important friends that turned into doctors and lawyers used my experience to like
you were a real
influence-
life case study.
Yeah,
before
they
were in
used that
school.
to influence how they address pain. So my one buddy is a pain doctor, and he does not prescribe pain medicine. He saw what he did with me, and so he does like actual pain recovery, because it's like you have to go through like a therapeutic process
Right.
of diagnosing pain, and it takes a while. And then everybody was like,
I
well,
would
I
be-
just want a pill. And then when they started doing the basic like Yelp review of doctors, like patients would be like, yeah, this doctor didn't help me, blah, blah, blah. And then the doctor would lose their job. So the doctors were like, okay, but take the pain pills. Just, I got to keep my job, So
I would be pissed if I was an addict and I showed up to a doctor and they're like, "We're gonna do therapeutic." I'd be like,
dude,
"I'm
it
sorry?"
sucks.
Yeah,
It
it's
sucks.
the worst.
It's horrible.
Where'd you grow up? Philly?
Delaware.
Delaware, but it's basically is Delaware right near Philly?
Outside of Philly.
So, yeah, you
45
guys are
minutes.
like, where'd you grow up, Vinny? Jersey, but
Like Central Jersey.
but you go to Avalon, you go to the shore, you do all that.
Yeah, I go down the shore.
Where'd you go?
Like
You
down
have
the
a,
shore.
he has a house
Yeah.
on the shore.
Long Beach Island.
Oh, we used to go to Long Beach Island. That's where I found out what a taint was.
I'm sorry.
A taint?
Taint. A
Long Beach
gooch.
Island. I was at my cousin's house. My mom was drunk. Someone
She
said
showed you
taint.
her taint.
We go, well, I go, Mom, what's a taint? She goes, what's the area between, or no, I go, what's a taint? Why do they call it a taint? And she goes, because it taint pussy and it taint ass.
that's Mrs. Finance
Yeah,
for you,
uh-huh.
because it ain't pussy and it ain't ass. What were your summers like growing up in
Dude.
Delaware? Because for me, I feel like the 4th of July is the one indicator that you are truly in summer. Like June, it doesn't feel real, but once you hit the 4th, I always have this moment of realization where it's like, okay, we are in summer now. It's countdown until it's over, and I gotta start doing.
Well,
all
4th
the
of
things
July
that I
was
wanna
always
do.
like fireworks. You go to a
Yes.
Phillies game, you watch the fireworks.
Yep.
Your friend gets back from Iraq and he spends
Sure.
his military check on fucking fireworks. You go to the woods and he blows a hole in the ground, and then he gets addicted to his dad's methadone. 4th of July.
Of course.
And,
nothing more American.
yeah.
That's the true
Uh-huh,
American
yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'll never
Your
forget.
shell-shocked buddy back from
my
Fallujah.
dude, he used to have the worst flashbacks. It was fucking gnarly. And one time he like lost his window selling job because he kept nodding out on methadone, and he like the next time he come out, he's like, "I'm an American hero. I was in the war." And it's like, dude, you're nodding out at your window job. Like, You only get so far as an American hero. And also, before you went over there, you said you were going to kill the first brown thing you saw. I don't think you're a hero. I think you're an asshole.
It was the last resort. But growing up, you used to do. I mean, what was it like for you as like? How did you spend your summers?
Well,
What was
summer-
a typical ideal 4th of July for a little Ian Fidance?
Summer was
down in
like
Delaware.
baseball camp, riding your bike, running
Yes.
around. 4th of July didn't really matter too much. The first week in August, every year, my family would go down to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Rehoboth.
We'd stay at Patrician Towers.
Oh, sure.
And then when I got older, we would stay on the top floor, and I got a 3-man slingshot, and me and my friends would shoot water balloons onto the
Do you
boardwalk.
remember how fun those were? You ever have one of those growing up?
Dude?
And they'd your friends, you'd really like jack it up. They'd be there, and then you bring it all the way back. But you had to balance the water balloon so it was half in, half out. So it would come
God, that
back.
was the best.
You remember the viral video of the woman who got the watermelon in the face off one of those?
No.
Oh,
Vinny, pop it up.
It just look up watermelon slingshot. This was the most viral video ever, like maybe 10 years ago. There it is, second one down or first, either one. Look at this lady.
No.
That's not
Can we stop reinventing the shirt, by the way? How many of these
Yeah.
companies are like, you know how you're a fat slob and shirts don't fit? This is
Look at
a
that
fat slob shirt. Oh, no, I'm so scared.
Oh wait. Oh, she's gonna come in here.
Oh.
Ladies, if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you go. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, make sure you go watch on YouTube. Here we go.
Oh!
Watch this. That's a
gonna
full
ruin your
watermelon.
day.
That's got to be a broken nose.
Oh, that's got to be a.
This poor thing.
Oh no.
That's the
Oh,
most
no.
2000s looking woman I've ever seen. In
Oh
life.
my
I
God,
love
that
her.
is John and Kate plus 8.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, let's see it. Oh, right in the kisser.
Do you remember that?
Oh,
I do remember this actually. Now watching it.
My God.
I remember this, and I remember the woman at the Grape Festival.
They don't make it easy buying concert tickets these days. You got to sign up for the pre-sale, get in the queue, and by the time you get through, the best seats are gone. Going to a concert should be about the show itself, not the virtual wait in line. Lucky for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. That's why we love Game Time. I was looking for tickets to the Red Sox-Yankees game tonight, and I saw an amazing deal. Tickets are only $53. $53 at Yankee Stadium. That's unheard of, and it's all thanks to Game Time. So what are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Red Sox-Yankees tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code OUTANDABOUT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code OUTANDABOUT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
Yeah. Do you remember going to this is summer, going to a friend's house and sitting in their computer room
Yes.
and watching videos?
Of course.
The computer room.
And they had two little speakers on the side. That's how you knew if your friends had money. If they had two little speakers on the side and you could like turn them on and off, but it would always be
Dude.
hooked up wrong and it would go when you turned it
Dude,
on.
and before you left, you downloaded a new porno
On
at home,
LimeWire?
waiting for mine was Kazaa, and it was on the 56K modem. And then you get home, and it's not the thing you thought it was, so you just made do with what you had.
Yeah.
And then your mom wanted to get cable internet, and you were afraid that they would find all your gay pornography. So you said, "No, we still need 56K."
That was back when life was riskier back then. Watching porn on the family computer. We had a computer in our living room with a stool on it, and it was like you had to like time out when you were gonna watch porn. God
My
forbid anyone walks up behind you.
my biggest, like, if I could go back in time, my mom got me a computer in my bedroom, and that was such a bad idea.
was that started the
such a
porn addiction.
terrible idea.
Started it all.
It was, I mean, there was a period of time where I only watched Latino and black pornography for a
Well, I
long
mean, listen,
time.
I think a lot of boys go through that phase.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's
Uh-huh,
nothing wrong with
uh-huh,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your fourth like, Vinny? Like, what did you guys do growing up? Were you always away? Like my family, we never went away. It was always we were in Franklin, Mass. We were hanging out,
There was usually-
landlocked, not a pool, not anything, just a fucking
Yeah.
hose.
It was
and
usually
that
a
was it.
neighborhood party. Usually somebody was
Yes.
throwing a neighborhood, like everyone would go. Some would do the fireworks.
You ever
Like,
go to the?
yeah.
You guys have a local fair at in your town, like a 4th of July
Not
fair?
4th of July, I don't
Not
think.
4th of July. We had the Italian market.
Feast of
We had the
St.
flower
Rocco's?
market or the Italian festival.
Yeah.
that was like the thing that you would do. And that would, like, the first time, do you remember the first time you were allowed to go unsupervised?
Of course.
Like dropped off and let feral?
And it was full of Cookie Monster pajama pant girls.
Oh my God.
And guys with wallet chains.
Oh my God.
Fighting by the Cobra, the Sizzler, the Tilt-A-Whirl.
The Zipper.
That was where that was this very scary. That was our Iraq as an eighth grader. The town common in Franklin, Mass. It was always a fight. I remember I threw up on the Zipper one year.
Oh my God.
Not even. No, I think I was a little drunk.
Dude,
I was like 14.
This was a formative experience for me. I have to smoke to get through it.
That's all right. Yeah, that was ideal. The fair.
I had an online girlfriend through a friend of a friend. We talked all the time. This was like 6th or 7th grade. On the phone, she'd have a sleepover, and she'd be like, "All the girls think you're cute." We never saw each other.
Right.
And then the
it was
first
a
time,
46-year-old man.
it would have been better, and they would have liked me more than what happened, because I showed up at the Italian festival. We met for the first time. She was so physically disgusted by me. She called her mom to pick her up. And the next day, you know when did you ever have those forwarded emails like all about me or like chain mails? There was an email sent. It was like, what do you think of when you hear this person's name? And it was like Mark, cute, Pat,
gay.
Tall. Yeah, gay. So we all got that email. And the day after she and I met, she resent it and added my name and went short, curly hair, vampire teeth, ugly, big nose, glasses.
She added your name. How old are you?
I am 40, and it still sticks with me. And when I worked at a restaurant in Delaware, her family owned a furniture store across the street, and I refused to wait tables for her and her family when they came in.
I love that. That's called the get back.
I don't even think she knows I exist, or
I'm sure she does.
Totally out of her mind. Yeah. And to me, it was like my villain origin story.
That's so funny. I remember there was a lot of romance that took place, like at those fairs and at those carnivals. From what I remember, I had my first smooch at the carnival.
Who?
It was very
girl or guy?
Girl, not a guy. It was a girl. I think I did have a guy smooch before that. I don't want to say her name, but yeah, I had my first smooch there. What else happened? We would have multiple festivals going on.
I fingered a girl in the parking lot, and someone took a picture of it, and I gave it to my grandfather, and he put it on his mirror.
Someone took a picture of you fingering a girl?
It was from afar. So it was like my arm around her. Like, it looked like we were like a couple watching like
your
the
grandfather
sunset
goes,
from afar.
Thank God he's not gay.
Yeah.
I got bad news for you, Grandpa. Talk to you in about 20 years and 3 more trips to jail. We'll figure this thing out.
Good God. Thank God you died, Poppy, before you had to see the abomination that you thought you loved.
That's I want to play a little game with you. I want to do a word association game that I was playing alone in bed this morning. Vinny, you get in on this too. We'll go around in circles and we'll say things, just one word that we think are American, and we'll see how long we can go. Mm-hmm. Anything that comes to mind, and you play along at home too, ladies. Anything that comes to mind when you think of American, the American experience, whatever. So American things, I'm going to start off. It'll go to you. Number 1, boobs.
The first thing I think of?
Anything American, anything that connects with America for you.
Riding go-karts at my friend's house, and a girl, us begging her to show her tits, and she showed us her tits in the woods, and then we got too excited and would show up at her house at night and be like, Megan, let's see him again!
What?
Yep. And
All
I
right,
had a girlfriend in 8th grade, and I thought I cheated on her by seeing Megan's boobs.
Well, in some circles, that's true.
Were they that nice, or was it just because that was your first?
First real, I'd seen boobs in a parking lot
yeah.
at a Metallica concert, but this was like first, like, whomp. And it was, I'll never forget, my buddy got her to show him, and he was behind me on his go-kart, and I was on a golf cart, and I'll never forget slamming in the brakes, almost hitting a tree, running and being like, my turn!
Okay, boobs, go-kart.
Glen Mills Community Center, shout out, 1999, never forget.
You saw a pair of 1999 boobies.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first pair of boobs I saw was in the girl's actually dead now. It was in
yeah, I don't know if this girl's alive or not.
It was in the like, what's it called? That's like the auditorium at school. We were like just walking around, like skipping class during class, and she turned around and she goes, "Hey, me and the guy I was with," and she just shows us her boobs. Pierced nipples in high school.
Oh,
yeah.
I go.
She showed them. I go, Not for me.
The first I saw was at a Jets-Bills preseason game in the stands. That was the first I saw.
Really?
First was a Metallica concert, November 11, 1997, free concert, Veterans Stadium parking lot. I'm on my mom's shoulder, and I turned to my left, and I saw a woman's boobs, and I took a picture with the Kodak Instamatic camera, and they didn't come out.
They didn't come out.
No.
The guy kept them. You remember when people developed photos back in the day, they must have seen some shit, huh?
Dude,
Yeah.
we used to give cameras to teenagers and adult men with autism to develop film and then give them back to us.
But now they do. Now that's a thing. Like at weddings, people will hand out disposable cameras, and it's a fun throwback. You take a picture, and you get a disposable camera. I don't know.
That was, dude, getting the 1 hour photo and waiting outside to see pictures of like,
Well, 1 hour. That was big money, baby.
that was
You're paying
crazy.
1 hour, $24,
Oh,
or it's like
dude,
$1 a photo.
Are you kidding me? We all put our fucking allowance money together
Yes.
to get pictures from like the dance we were at the weekend before. Just, oh God, I want to be a kid
Yes.
again. No, I want to be a kid again in like the 90s. Kids don't have that now. Like sneaking off and smoking cigarettes and seeing live boobs.
I think that there's a resurgence going back to that, because we were the last generation without internet, and now I look at my brother and like that generation of people who have kids. I see the like Miles and Everett, my nephews, the upbringing that they're having. It's very much go outside. They never wear
Really?
shoes. They're never on iPads.
Oh,
They're just kind
that's
of
cool.
Farting around outside.
That's cool.
Because I think there will be a swing from this super electronic, super plugged in generation like Gen Z, TikTok and all over the place, to now our generation sees the damage and how much fuck things up. It's going to go back the other way. But
Oh,
it's so
that's
nice.
cool.
Like I'll go home and I'll see in my brother's neighborhood, it's just kids outside, just playing,
That's
hanging
great.
out.
That's cool.
It's awesome.
I think it's because
cool.
young kids want to reject whatever like they see the
Exactly.
generation above them, and we're addicted to our phones. So I think
Yup.
they're like, that shit's lame.
It's like you see the parents walking around like this.
Yeah.
Ew, get off your phone.
Dude, the
hang
worst
out.
is
That's
seeing
a really good
a
point.
parent push a stroller and the kid is on an iPad and
Oh.
they're on the phone. You're like, what is even the point of this?
But I also understand when I was on vacation, my nephew was going nuts. I was like, give him an iPad. What are we doing? He's going nuts at dinner? Shut him up. Give
Speaking
him
of
an
going
iPad.
nuts and shutting kids up, you really had an incident
Oh,
recently.
you saw,
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
Twitter pays out for that. I had no idea. You go
What?
viral. I made like $1,000 on that tweet. You got
Are
to
you
sign up for their
serious?
monetization thing.
Dude.
It was great, but yeah, I said on,
Oh
on
yeah,
the Delta
that's
flight.
why so many people just do rage bait shit
I
because
should've
they're
done
making
it.
money.
But it was, I think it was about 70,000 likes, 5,000 replies, 4,000 more people just going, "You're a
Dude,
I was
did
like,
you
well,
did
this
you
has been a
face
while.
any like actual hatred in real life?
No, I didn't. I was a lot of people reached out to me to talk, like news stations. Like there was some radio station in Toronto that reached out to me. There was like a couple news outlets here, like Yahoo. I was like, I'm not giving a quota. I'm not
Yeah.
doubling. I was hungover when I tweeted it.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't care about anything, let alone if
Yeah.
a baby cries on a plane. I didn't want to double down on that. But that was probably my most viral tweet. I think about 20 million views. It wasn't bad. I mean, if you have a kid on the plane, make them be quiet. Actually, you don't even have to make them be quiet. Just show an effort that you're attempting to make them be
You know
quiet.
how parents, when
That's
they
all
bring
I
a
care
baby on a flight and they'll hand out like
I feel
candy
bad for the
and be like,
parents.
"Our babies,
Doing
it's their
damage
first
control?
flight. Please enjoy these earplugs and a little bit of
Yeah.
candy." I need to do that with my gas and be like, "Hey, I have gas. Enjoy these nose plugs." And I'm sorry.
I would throw up.
Yeah.
You should be on a no-fly list for farting on a plane.
I get such bad gas on flights.
Why? Is it the air pressure?
It's
babe?
the air pressure.
The air pressure will
I
fuck
think
with
it's
the gut.
psychosomatic because the second I sit down, I'm like, "Well, here it comes."
All right, everyone. The weather is heating up, so stay cool with Stella Blue Cold Brew. Whether you love a dark roast, indulgent flavors, or our newest variety, Miss Peaches, which is 100% Colombian, we've got a cold brew for everyone. Better, fresher cold brew at home in just 3 easy steps. Steep, refrigerate, and enjoy. And the best part, every purchase helps homeless pets find their forever homes. Grab a Miss Peaches or any of our cold brew varieties now at Amazon or StellaBlueCoffee.com, where you can use promo code Out and About for $20 off. Orders $25 or more. Sip with purpose all summer long. Stella Blue.
I have pictures in my phone of people next to me, like covering themselves in
Oh,
blanket. Yeah. It's the air pressure. Some people get erections on flights.
I do.
Really?
Occasionally, if I'm like nodding in and out, I'll be like, "Why am I like kind of?"
Oh, I've
hard
woken
right
up
now?"
bricked up before. I'm
Really?
like, what? Dude, I get woken up by flight attendants for my snoring. I'm sleeping and they're like, "Sir, do you need a water?" And I'm like, "Huh? What? No." Yeah, it's terrible.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
When Vinny has a baby, are you gonna bring the baby on the plane?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you gonna hand out candy?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely
I don't
not.
think you should bring babies on flights. I think you should just drive. Good old American fashion car trip.
Yep.
Dude, do you ever
I
think
like that.
about when you're driving about how you used to not have GPS? You have to use MapQuest.
I remember my dad printing out it was a big thing. Print out the MapQuest before, and I also remember him having spiral atlases in the car.
Yeah.
You remember that? It was
Yeah.
like a thing like this. It was
Yeah,
like a
and they'd mark
14
it out
by
with a
9.
pen.
Yeah, and they'd look okay. Here
Going
we
to
are.
a gas station, be like, "How do I get to here?" And they're like, "Well, you make a left."
Yeah.
And
Even to this day, my dad will ask me when he goes, "Well, where are you going home?" I'm like, I don't know. Whatever way
Yeah,
the
when
GPS.
people ask me
tech-
that, it's like, yeah, like what the? Why are you even having this conversation?
It is
I'm gonna-
nice though to drive just kind of blind and like see if you can do it because a
Oh,
lot of it's
so
muscle
scary.
memory.
So scary.
You know what I did this weekend? I was in Charlotte for the weekend.
Oh, this is a nightmare.
I was trying to fly home Sunday morning. Flight kept getting delayed. They kept saying, we're going to get you this plane. Oh, this plane has a mechanical problem. Oh, this plane has a problem. Eventually, we're like, bad vibes. Fuck it. Me and my girlfriend rented a car, and I just drove 9 hours home from Charlotte to New Jersey.
Wow.
How much did that
awful.
cost you?
Honestly, only $200.
That's a nightmare.
But it was, yeah, so I just had to do a whole road trip.
And now I got to go back out to San Diego. And plane tickets to San Diego are $10 million apparently. But I'm deciding whether or not I want to fly low class like I usually do or like get a first class ticket. It does make such a difference.
I do first class when I'm cross country, but I'm also Delta
like
Diamond
$2,000.
Medallion. I always get upgrades anyway. But I don't want to chance it on like a cross country trip.
And then the flight back was a red eye, but in the middle of the red eye they want you to stop and switch in Dallas. I'm like, isn't that defeat the purpose of a red eye? Because the red eye you're supposed to sleep across the country, right?
I love a red eye.
Really?
I
I'm
love a
afraid to
red
take
eye.
one. Maybe I should.
Why?
Because I don't want to wake up and then go switch planes. Like I just want to sleep straight through.
Well, a red eye usually is one flight across country.
Maybe I'm just looking at Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, is that what you fly?
No, Delta usually. I don't
Yeah.
have loyalty to anyone. I do have some miles on Delta though, which I'm
Dude,
kind of excited about.
Well, I fly every weekend, so I
Yeah.
have all the accoutrements, and it really helps.
Where are you going next weekend? This will come out on the 4th. Where do they get tickets? IanFinance.com?
IanFinance.com. Next week, I am in Oklahoma City and at Bricktown Comedy Club. And then the weekend after, I'm at the Addison Improv in Dallas. And then I'm in Indianapolis in Helium at Helium Comedy Club. And then I'm in Chicago Zanies. IanFinance.com for tickets. iAnimal69 on Instagram.
IanFinance.com. All right, guys, I got to talk to you about Roe. I am a Roe partner. This show is sponsored by Roe, specifically Roe Sparks, which are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue, and getting hard faster means having more sex. After they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average, so you can be ready anytime you need to go. Roe Sparks gives guys thicker, longer erections than you usually have because they get fuller. It also gets in your blood faster, which means the boost lasts longer, so it's more fun for both you and your partner. Roe stays active in your system for up to 36 hours. You can go back to back, round to round, and be ready the morning after. Be ready with Roe Sparks so you can have the erection that you have always wanted. Roe connects guys with a medical provider 100% online, so there's no awkward conversation with in-person providers, and if provided, treatment ships directly to your door. If you're prescribed new sexual health patients, get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at roe.co/out to find out if Roe Sparks are right for you. That's roe.co/out for $15 off your first order. I'm just going to rifle through
And
these.
subscribe to my YouTube, IanFinance.com or YouTube.com/IanFinance Comedy. I'm putting up stand-up. I'm putting out a travel show. I'm putting out stuff with my mom. It's the one-stop shop for all things fun.
Put out stuff with my mom.
Yeah.
There you go. What's your mom's name?
Gail.
Gail.
Yeah.
My
We're
mom's name
gonna
is
start-
Phyllis.
Oh, I love it.
It's a great. What's your mom's name, Vin?
Lisa.
Lisa,
Nice.
Gail, and Phyllis.
Nice. Nice. They have a new show coming out called No Sex in the City.
I'm going to read through some of these things that I associate with America off the top of my head. Tell me if I'm on the right track here. I have boobs,
America.
This is good. Bikinis,
America.
freedom, America, guns,
America.
TikTok,
China.
sure, cookouts,
America.
mowing the grass.
Oh, I miss it.
I miss it so much.
Sunday shirtless your lawn shoes,
Yes.
mowing the grass.
Cigarette
Good
hanging
God
out the
almighty.
mouth.
Wow.
The smell of fresh
Bottle
cut
of
grass.
vodka in your back
Bottle
pocket.
of vodka in your back pocket. Oh, screwdrivers. American
I
as
just said
fuck.
straight vodka.
You're a straight vodka guy.
If you put other stuff in it, it takes away from the vodka.
That's very true. Mulch.
Whoa.
These get a little bit abstract. America for mulch. Okay.
Where else is mulch?
Do other countries have mulch? Do other countries have mulch?
Huh.
Sunny days.
That reminds me of the town.
Cigarette boats.
What is a cigarette boat?
It's a long, skinny, like race 90s, 80s boat. You'll recognize it. Huge.
Why do they
front
call
end,
it a cigarette boat?
Because it's shaped like a cigarette. You've seen
Really?
these.
Wow. I call it a cigarette boat when I take a shit and smoke a cigarette.
Mullets.
America. Have you ever had one?
No, I had a rat tail.
Nuh-uh.
Oh,
up.
I could
Oh,
totally
yeah.
see that.
Unironic?
Like, no,
As a
we
kid?
like begged my mom to let us get them, and then we briefly had one, but she chopped it off. I think we had it for maybe a day or two.
I had a mullet.
Because when
I
you
was
are
younger.
trash, you can't let people know you're trash.
Mm.
You had a mullet? I can see that.
Intentional mullet in high school.
Really?
Yeah, because I would always grow my hair really long and then cut it and donate it. And then I donated like the sides, but I kept the back long. And then when I got sober, I did a mullet with
You're a drunk with a
racing
mullet?
stripes.
Oh, you trash bag.
So that I could intentionally make myself off-putting so I wouldn't get in relationships with people.
I love that. That's what did it. It's the mullet
Yeah,
that
not
did
my
it.
personality or my issues.
My personality.
mullet.
That was the mullet. That's why I managed to stay single so long. Was
Yeah.
the mullet.
Uh-huh.
What else we got? Porn stars.
American.
Vinny, you can get in
But
on this too.
apparently Prague is where like a bunch of porn stars come from.
Yes, our good friend Lisa Ann, who's on the show, she just did an anti-porn like business deal with Turkey, where she went over and said that like she explains how damaging porn is to people's minds and their psyche and their sexual
I
health.
love how these people are like in pornography for years and then they're like, oh,
They're like, oh, that was
actually, it's
damaging to me.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Porn is evil.
It's terrible for you.
Dude, the shit that it like does to you psychologically and like what it's making people think is okay. And,
It's
like,
so
just
available,
so
too.
weird, man.
It's
It's
so
and
available.
also it's like permeating every aspect of culture. Like it's just everybody's like porny and sexy and like
Yeah.
people are way too hot now. Like I feel like there's no phase
Yes.
of like awkward ugly for like teenagers. They
No.
all want to be like hot and shiny like Sabrina Carpenter and it's not okay.
Have you ever seen the video? It was a viral one where it's like teenagers in 2001 versus teenagers today, and it's like these girls like dancing around all goofy. They look like kids, and then it's teenagers today, and it's like celebrities, like super hot, made up like
Dude,
dolls,
it's weird.
doing these sexy
It's
TikTok dances.
weird, man.
It's so weird. That's why the internet has ruined everyone.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Well, also
what it
it's
is.
like weird. Like Euphoria, weren't they all like
Oh,
high
Euphoria.
schoolers
Yep.
and they're like hot? So
Yep.
then you're like, wow, these high schoolers are hot, but they're like adults playing high. And then
Yeah.
you're like, what is this doing to my mind?
my high school had we had like one hot person.
My
And like there was like
class-
one like good looking guy and like one like hot girl. Everyone else was ugly. Everyone was
My
gross and
class
awkward.
was the last class of uggos. There was no one hot
99?
in our class. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Hey,
it.
well, no. We graduated 2003.
Yeah.
No one hot. Everyone underneath hot. They all started wearing makeup, and ours were like, I'm gonna have braces forever.
Yeah, I had braces twice.
Me too.
It was once
and then
in
I
college.
stopped wearing my retainer, and
Yep.
my bottom teeth looked like a fucking old graveyard.
I'm looking at him right now.
Oh God!
They
oh,
look
God,
like an
don't-
old
don't-
graveyard.
Shut up! Oh God, it's so bad.
My bottom teeth look like an old graveyard.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
there's no one hot. No one was hot
No.
growing up. We talked about that. Dylan Carlino just did last week's show.
Oh, he's great.
Even like hooking up with people. Like I never hook up with anyone that I'm attracted to.
Mm.
It's just whoever is available. No
Right
one's
now?
hot. Yeah, right now.
Really.
We can cut that. Strike that from the. I was trying to recall the conversation that I had, but I can't really remember what it was. Yeah, no, that's funny. Awkward, ugly phases
Don't really
no
exist
longer exist.
because also we never had anyone looking at us unless it was in person.
And you don't know what it took to be hot back then. Now you can open up your phone and everyone is gorgeous. Like, oh, I got to do this. I got to look this way.
I had to show up somewhere and have people go, you shouldn't dress like that in order for me to find out rather than put it online. Like, everyone is so focused on what they look like
Right.
because there's a million eyes on them all the time. But we never had that. The only time people saw you is when they saw you in person.
But it's not even in my psyche now when I go somewhere or where I dress nice to post a picture online, because when we grew up, that wasn't important. Like showing off what you look
because
like.
of my fucking thing.
That's
It's
what
like,
I should do. But
Yeah.
like I was just in P-Town a couple weeks ago. Like I was dressed nice. It was a beautiful setting. Didn't even cross my mind to put a picture online because it's just burnt into my brain that like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't show where you go, which is the opposite of what I should be doing. If I have nice clothes or I dress nice, I should be fucking showing it off.
Yeah.
What else we got? We have installing foreign governments. American.
Yeah.
Bunker buster bombs. American.
American. Do we have an update on what's going on over there right now?
I think it was allegedly
the
a
last
ceasefire.
I saw was what you said when Trump was like, he thought there was a ceasefire, then they both just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't even think that was real. I
No,
think
so
he just made it up.
There was. He does that a lot. I think there was, but I thought when a ceasefire happens, it's an immediate stop. It's not. They're like, you have 12 hours left to like get it out of your system, and then they kind of like maybe they fire one off here, maybe they fire one off here.
That's like when you go to rehab and you like get drunk beforehand. You're like, all
Right.
right, I know it's gonna end. I gotta get fucked up right now.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what he said too.
That is what he said.
He's like, now
He
it's
made the
out
rehab
of their
analogy?
system. Yeah, yeah. He goes. Trump goes. It's like when you go to rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I have no idea what it is. It could change. This was filmed a week ago, ladies, for full disclosure.
Yes.
So we could be in a war right now. We don't
Good
know.
God.
War, very American.
Mm-hmm.
Tattoos, very American.
These are specifically American traditional tattoos.
What's your most American tattoo that you have?
Probably an eagle that says free.
Yes. You trash bag. I love it. Hold that bad boy up.
Or the
Good
Native
Lord.
American on my shoulder.
Oh yeah. You know what I like about your tattoos? Was it all done by the same guy or lady? They all look very similar.
It's
Like
all
the same
a similar
style.
style. Yeah, mostly they're done at R&D Tattoo in Ridgewood, Queens, which is a like shop. All the guys do the same American traditional tattoos.
Tattoos.
This
American.
is my favorite Bugs Bunny, like Tony Montana,
That's like twisted around. I can't see. Oh yeah.
and then this rat man smoking a cigarette. That's me,
Rat man smoking a cigarette.
dude. I recently got a tattoo for the first time ever. I used numbing cream, barely felt it, healed within less than a week.
Really?
Amazing. I'm gonna get everything done now with numbing
With
cream.
numbing cream.
I feel like I put in my time
Yeah.
with the amount of pain I've endured that I should do numbing cream.
I just had a
but
laser facial and they didn't give me numbing
what
cream.
the hell is that?
It's where they zap your face with a laser. I have to get it 3 times apparently for
What's
it to
it
work.
do?
It like resurfaces your face to promote collagen, I guess.
You
I don't
do
know.
look more
Youthful.
boyish.
Do I? Oh, thank you.
You do.
Ian.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. Now I just
Yeah.
got to figure out the hair. I
Your
need to
hair's
dress
great.
better and I need to like take care
What are
of
you
how I
talking
look.
about? Figure out your hair.
I need to do this in the
Dude,
morning.
you
or
have
something.
hair.
I know, but I show up and I'm like all over the place. I went through a thing where I wanted to get teeth for a while. I was like, I'm gonna focus on. Vinny remembers it. I was like trying to like work a deal to get free teeth. I need to focus on how I look. I don't ever focus on how I look. It's very un-American.
Well, what look do you want to go for?
I want to be jacked, strong, hot, look like a movie star. Is
Do
that too much
you-
to ask?
Do you work out?
Yeah,
I just started boxing.
it's the best shape I've ever been in my life. When I was
Really?
boxing. Yeah, ladies, if you need a workout, box,
Dude,
That
it's the
is
best.
unbelievable. You don't even have to fight anyone. Just go there and like hit the bag for 30 minutes.
Mhm.
It'll be unbelievable. Have you ever done
Yeah.
it, Vinny? Never once.
Never once. I would like to, but
It's really, really, really good shape. Gets you in great shape. I also broke both my shoulders doing it, so there's always that.
Jesus, how'd you do that?
One of them, it was just from like repeated. It was hurt from basketball and then just repeated pounding on it, and then the
Good
guy had me
God.
do pull-ups, and I remember going down, and I could. It sounded like a rubber band when I went down. It went like I didn't do the sound. It went like a boing, and I could hear it. And then I got up. I go, oh, I can't move my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best shape I've ever been in.
What year was that?
I was like 2018, 2017. It's been all downhill since. The problem is when you get old, it's not that I'm weak. My muscles have gotten stronger, but my joints and my ligaments have gotten weaker.
And my desire to do anything has gotten weaker.
Anything at
my
all.
ability for discipline. Although I've started to grocery shop and meal prep and go
Started
to the
to
gym.
grocery.
Oh, dude, I didn't grocery shop in years. I was spending like $80 a night on takeout. It's crazy.
But grocery
Oh,
shopping
crazy.
now is expensive. Now I feel like I used to grocery shop for a week and it would be like $100. Now it's like no shot I could do it for under $200 for a week.
I think I'm at like 120. I
And
eat
that how many meals you get out of that though?
so many because I'll buy like a pound of lean turkey meat, and I'll make like riced cauliflower turkey meat. I'll pan-sear some bok choy, sweet potatoes, and an avocado.
Yes.
And those will be my meals.
That'll cancel out the cigarettes.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. I just don't know the basics of cooking. We tried to get me to do this previously. Shout out to the lady in Boston who got me a pre-diabetic cookbook. It's the best gift I ever got. I've been reading it. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. I didn't
What do
make one
you
meal.
mean pre-diabetic? What does that mean for
It
you?
means my sugars are high.
Uh-huh.
I got a high A1C.
I
but I think
have
I've
low
got it
sugars
down.
because I in the middle of the night I wake up and I snack, and I need like sugar. So I've been freezing grapes.
That's a very healthy snack.
I've been trying to be more healthy with my snacking.
Yogurt is a good healthy snack from what I hear. But my thing is I'll lay on the couch, I'll eat a little edible, and then I'll get up at maybe at 10, I'll be like, oh, I could just do a little snack before I go to bed. And I'll walk outside, I'll go get like a Kit Kat, or I'll get some M&Ms, or that's my thing. I'm a late night sugar. I'm a sugar
See,
queen.
I'm a straight cheese at night guy.
That explains the gas on the plane.
Yeah.
Cheese at night. Yeah, the thing that deters me from grocery shopping in New York is that everything is so readily available. Like, I don't plan a meal until 5 minutes before I eat. It's in that moment.
Well,
that's
why
what
if
I
you-
want. That's what I get. I'm never
See-
like, it'll stress me out. Oh, I got to go eat the fucking turkey.
See, I eat
that
the
have at
same
home.
thing over and over till I get sick of it.
I do the same
So
thing.
my meals are literally just slop on a plate of
Yeah.
turkey meat, rice, and everything. Just I scarf it down. And then
So
that's it.
you know John Feidelberg who works here?
Yes.
KFC? So he does a thing. He will eat a meal and then he has like a slop bucket in his refrigerator. So whatever he doesn't finish, if he has, ground beef and rice or whatever, he'll put that in the slop bucket. Then he'll make another meal. It could be pasta. If he doesn't finish that, he'll put that in the slop bucket. And at the end of the week, he just eats the slop bucket.
Was he raised in a tenement?
Yeah,
What kind of
it's
depression mindset is that? That's crazy.
He eats like a brick shithouse, but he works out like crazy.
Yeah.
I think my thing is I just don't recover properly when I work out. Like
I've
there's a couple weeks there where I'd work out and I'd be like, okay, you're sore. Go drink some BCAAs, go drink a protein shake, stretch, do this. And it worked. It's just the consistency, which is the issue.
I've been looking forward to eating. Like at night, I'm like, I can't wait to wake up and make my eggs and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to get back to that.
Yeah.
I think I've been back on the Adderall a little bit and that just kills my desire to eat completely. It ruins food. Food for me is sustenance. It's not like enjoyable. It's enjoyable, I guess.
Well, I eat healthy during the week, and then on the weekend, I'm like, time for garbage.
When you go on the road, are you eating crazy?
Well,
Are
dude,
you
it's-
fast food, BK, Wendy's,
Dude, it's so
McDonald's?
hard because I get done my late show ends, and I do the meet and greet, and then the only thing that's open is fast food.
Right.
The club has garbage food.
Yep.
And then I honestly on the weekend I sustain myself on Starbucks eggs and adult lunchable cheese and cracker packs.
Adult, like the little Ritz ones with the spreadable.
No, from Starbucks. They have cheese and
Oh.
cracker packs that I
I
just
think
eat.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're like a coffee guy.
Yeah.
You're a big time coffee guy.
Yeah, and then that helps with my eating. That makes it so I don't have to eat all the time. But I'm trying, man. I'm back on the bike. I'm boxing.
We're
I'm
getting
working
old.
out. I'm like really trying. I'm like hitting everything at all angles so I don't just like jump off a bridge head first. Like, dude, I'm in therapy. I'm going back to AA. I'm fucking
Yeah. Oh, sure.
riding my bike. I'm boxing. I'm working out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, one of the
man?
best pieces of advice I heard about getting older is you don't stop because you lose it. You lose it because you stop. So that's the point
Lose
that I'm at
what?
in my life. Just like your ability to move, your ability to compete or do certain things physically that you
Oh.
want to do. Like I like to play basketball, but if I stop playing basketball for a while, it makes it that much harder to get back
Right.
into it.
Oh my
If you
god.
stop working
Starting
out-
again is so fucking
So yeah, I
hard.
say it to my parents. I was like, you don't lose because you don't stop because you lose it. You lose it because you stop. You gotta keep moving. Is this are we doing a geriatric podcast right now?
I think
We're just
so.
complaining about
Well, dude,
our
I just started talking to these two girls, and one of them like meal preps and goes to the gym. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I have to meal prep. She's like, that's so hot. I do that. I'm like, well,
hot.
thank God I'm talking to you this week because I wasn't doing it last week. And then the other girl's like, I love your discipline. I'm like, this just started.
Yeah. It feels good though when you just get into something. You're like, I'm gonna stick with this.
Oh, dude, if I read a fucking page in a book, everybody's hearing about it.
Remember when everyone was doing push-ups during COVID? Imagine if America collectively kept doing push-ups
Dude,
from now until
what are you,
COVID. We'd be the
Michelle
strongest
Obama?
country-
That was like
Michelle
her whole
Obama.
platform. Like, we
Yeah.
gotta get healthy.
We had a bunch of fat kids running around.
Dude, I'll tell you this. COVID was the most in shape I ever was, and I loved it when people were like, "Are you sick? Are you all right?"
Are
I'm
you
like,
sick?
Oh, thank you, because I was like so skinny and depressed.
Yeah, I had a blast during COVID. If it wasn't for the mass death and the
I
economy
feel like
shutting
we're
down, it would've been
living-
a great time.
During COVID, but with way higher pricing.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like we're in this mode of like everything feels destabilized. Nobody's like working, but then everybody at the same time feels like they're working nonstop. And at the same time, we're in COVID, everything I feel like was like cheaper, and now everything's just so expensive.
There's no consistency.
Yeah.
I think now there's no consistency.
What about the losers that are like, we're still in a pandemic, and then they wear
Oh my
masks? It's
I
like
see people
fucking-
walking around with masks.
What are you
now in
talking
the city?
about?
I'm like, why are you in a mask on the subway? There's a lady at my gym who wears a mask and carries around towels, probably 15 towels, sprays everything down. I'm like, if you're this concerned about getting sick, don't go out. Don't
Yeah.
leave the house. But
There's-
then it's like, what if they're actually terminally ill or they have
Well,
something?
yeah, that's
you
the
can't
thing
be
too.
a jerk
It's like I
about it.
judge immediately, and I'm like, well, they may have a comorbidity.
Right.
They might have something I don't know. I'm actually the asshole. I'm wrong. But a couple people I know have just tested positive for COVID recently.
Well, they just dropped a new strain, from what I hear. Yeah, the new variant
It's like
just dropped.
Supreme. We're like
It's
waiting for the
supreme,
next drop.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. There was that measles outbreak in Texas. People were going nuts over that.
Remember monkeypox? That was a thing.
Yeah.
Testing sites look like the newest gay club.
Yes.
It was just like all men covered in glitter.
Oh,
when
I
they
would get judged
tested.
so hard because I didn't get the monkeypox vax.
I
like,
stopped having.
I'm not fucking anyway.
I
What do need,
stopped having
monkeypox?
sex with men during that. I was like, I'm not risking it.
Monkeypox is what takes you out. The years of abuse on your body didn't do anything. It was the monkeypox that got you. Yeah, people still put that on dating apps. I'm vaxxed. I'm on PrEP.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got the
yeah.
monkeypox thing. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
not worried about. It becomes a statement.
Dude, I think I'm over guys. I think I'm done with guys.
Breaking
I don't
breaking
know,
news.
Just every time
God,
I
you're
have
so lucky.
not made a guy come in
Oh.
forever, and it's just like a futile effort. It's like the second
Right.
I go down there, they're like, I should be doing other things, and I'm
Right.
like, is this
Have you
doing
made-
anything?
Have you made a lady come? Is the question.
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Recently?
yeah.
Are we dating?
I'm seeing a couple people, but no.
You're playing the field.
You know, yeah, but I'm being very safe. I get tested every couple months.
Do you have hoes in different area codes?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's the main difference between a lady in somewhere like Oklahoma City, where you're going now, versus
Yes.
a woman in, say, Indiana, which you're going in a couple weeks?
I have someone in Oklahoma City. I don't have someone in Indiana.
Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and back it up. Let's workshop this. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
East of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Say Jersey. Are there different? What's the main difference between women in different states?
I can't find any in New York. I want to find someone to be with. See, I don't know how to properly date. I don't know
Right.
I can't date without immediately being like, "Well, move in. Let's fucking."
Right.
So I almost have to keep a
Why do you think
wall
that
up with
is?
myself because I'm psychotic. I have to keep a wall up with myself and not let myself get close because the second I let that wall down, I'm like, "Be with me all the time.
And then
Come on
you're
the road
afraid
every
they're
weekend."
gonna leave if you let them in.
No,
and then
I'm-
you're gonna get hurt.
No, I'm afraid that I'm going to be like, well, let's be together, and then I'll be like, well, what's even the point if we're not going to get married and settle down?
Right.
Like, I think
so
I'm
you are
ready to settle
you are
down.
psychotic. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm the same. I'm the
Yeah.
same way though. I feel like New York City has a very different mentality when it comes to dating. This will provide you any solace, people are much more focused on career advancement. And they're much more focused on ambition and being in the rat race and getting places than in other parts of the country, like say, a Nashville or even a Massachusetts or other states where people are deriving happiness from having a partner, from having a successful home life, from having kids, where in New York, they're deriving happiness from career, from ambition, from wherever. So maybe one of these women in a different state, you got to lock down and then you got to move your ass out of New York City.
Oh, God,
type
That'd be
shit.
the dream.
Oh.
But dude, the hardest part about dating in New York for me is I never want to leave my apartment because
Oh,
I'm
me
gone
neither.
all the time. And
Right.
then they're like, come over. And I'm like, no, you come over. I'm not around my cats a lot. I'm enjoying my place. You come here.
Yeah.
Out and About is sponsored by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal stress levels. And to battle stress, most of us can't wave goodbye to work, but we can start to focus on the small things that will help with our overall wellness. That's where BetterHelp comes in. And like I said, a holiday is great, but it isn't a long-term solution to stress. So don't forget that BetterHelp and therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring your way. I've been using it for about a year. It's a benefit here at Barstool Sports, and I absolutely love it. Cannot recommend enough. With over 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. As the largest online provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a wide variety of expertise. So we got something for everyone. You can unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners right now are going to get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/outlandabout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/outlandabout for 10% off of your first month. BetterHelp, check it out. I promise you, you will not regret it.
You know, and they're like, but I live in Spike Lee's old firehouse. Come here. And I'm like, no.
That is the tough part. People don't understand about dating in New York. It's you got to leave the house. You got to walk down the street to the subway. You got to go down on the
Dude, if
subway.
you're in
You gotta
Brooklyn
pay
and
to
you
get
date
to-
someone in Harlem, it's a long-distance relationship.
100% a long distance relationship.
It's crazy.
Maybe you go to Jersey. I could see Jersey in your future.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Where did you and Brenna meet?
We met in Jersey.
Met in Jersey.
I had a way easier time. Granted, it's because I'm a Guido, so it's my people. But
Sure.
I had a much easier time dating when I moved to Jersey than when I lived
Well,
in
every
Manhattan.
fucking girl I end up falling around with is in a different town, and then the yearning is like, come here, but I can't. And then after a while, it's like,
so
all right,
you just got to go. You're just lazy.
what?
You just got to meet these girls if you want to meet someone. Like you can't have it both ways.
What are you talking about?
If a girl wants to meet up with you, you got to go meet them if you want to be with someone. You
Well, I'm
can't
not
just
gonna
force-
fly. I'm not gonna fly down to Richmond.
Oh, you're talking about other states. I thought you were talking about like Jersey or something.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, a girl I was talking to was in Bay Ridge, and she's like, "Come over," and I'm like, "No, it's like an hour away. What are you talking about? Are you crazy?"
Bay Ridge.
Yeah.
It's easier when you have a car. Like once I had a
Yes.
car, if a girl's like 30 minutes, it's like a 30-minute drive. It seems a lot easier than the
I
train.
love
Yes.
driving in the car. I just drove 45 minutes to Philly for a gal, and it was great.
I
but
love road trips. American
Me
road
too.
trips.
Dude,
It's American.
road trips are the best.
I would rather drive than fly 99% of the time.
Well, that's the thing with Jordan in the podcast. She was like, "Look, I'll tour if we get a Sprinter van and we like
Oh,
drive,
that could be
but
fun.
I
You
don't
could
want to
film
do like
stuff.
flying and all this shit." I'm like, "All right, well, we have to block off like a month to like do the drive." I would do the drive, but it's like I'm dad, so I do all the driving, I do all
Right.
the planning. I'm all like, "Well, we got to be here and here," you know.
Yeah.
But I like being dad because I'm not going to be one. So I like being like a dad with
To
everyone,
another
like,
adult,
planning.
to an adult baby.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
You like being a dad to an adult baby. I have a friend who refuses to fly, so he lives in Florida. My buddy Dave. Whenever they go anywhere,
Buddy Daniel does that.
he'll drive up to Massachusetts. He'll drive to Nashville.
It's
He'll
crazy.
drive everywhere.
Crazy.
He's got a big, beautiful truck. That you need a nice car if you're gonna go on a road trip.
Yeah, I mean, I have flying down so like my flying airport routine is like I've perfected it to the point where from the time I get to the airport, I don't stop moving until I'm at my gate.
Yep.
Like because my security is like digital ID, and then I drop my stuff off and I go here, and then I time it to where like once I get through everything, my gate is boarding. So
I want zero downtime. If I'm flying early, I'll stop in and get breakfast.
Dude,
When
people
I
are
want
like-
to walk in, I want to walk through security
I
and
love
just
the
as I pull out.
lounge,
Fuck
and I
that.
sit here and I'm like, what? No.
I don't like the experience of travel. Traveling is getting from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like hang out in the lounge. Oh, and I hate when people are all crazy about the lounge. The lounge, like it's the greatest thing in the world.
Dude,
You'll get a free egg sandwich. Like
Yeah.
that's really all the lounge has to offer.
Cool.
I don't
And
like to
then
drink when I fly
You gotta
either. I
wait
don't like that.
forever to get into the lounge.
Oh, that's the other thing. You got to wait. There's 2 lines to get into the lounge now. There's first class, and then there's low class, which is what I'm always in, and that's usually a wait, especially if it's on a day where people are flying around, like a Thursday, Friday, where it starts to get busy and people travel on the weekends.
Have you ever fooled around on a plane? No.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Really? With a lady or a man?
I fingered an ex-girlfriend on a flight.
In a seat, in a bathroom or in a seat?
In a seat.
Are you reliving it in your head right now?
Oh, yeah.
God, you see him go.
Yeah.
Wow. When was this? Last week?
2019. 2020.
Do you remember the date?
February 6th.
February 6th.
No, it was going down to a wedding. It was actually 2 weeks before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And
It's pre-COVID fingering.
yeah, pre-COVID.
A lot of Americans are
fingering.
doing it. A lot of Americans are doing it.
But I hooked up with a guy a couple weeks ago as a flight attendant, and
course.
he was like, "I've never hooked up on a flight, but there's been like rubbing." I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of hot."
Yeah, a little heavy petting, if you
Yeah.
will. I think about that. Pilots and flight attendants must have people in every single state. Every
They got to be
country.
big time sluts.
When I grew up, my neighbor across the street, he was a pilot, and his wife was a flight attendant, and we were in Massachusetts. His home airport was in Newark, but he would regularly fly from Newark to China. That was like his route that he did. He was the senior most pilot. You remember Continental Airlines?
Yes.
At Continental Airlines, and his wife was the senior most flight attendant at Delta. She started flying as a flight attendant at Delta in the early 60s.
Jesus.
And retired. She had been like almost
When they were,
50 years on the job.
Respected.
He was like a fighter pilot, really decorated guy.
Here's the thing.
And that's the guy you want flying your plane.
Everybody talks about DEI and can you believe they've got a black person flying a plane, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. The only DEI I care about is gray hair. Fucking as long as a person has gray hair.
Yep.
Therapists, teachers, and pilots should all have gray hair. I don't want some fresh-faced fucking young kid flying my plane. And I found out that the young people fly smaller flights, smaller planes to log hours to then get to the bigger planes. And so when I'm on these flights from like here to Charlotte or like, fucking somewhere short, it's all young people and like women and stuff like that. And it's because they're logging the hours. It's like, I don't care what you are, just be old and experienced.
I've noticed
we
that.
shouldn't have therapists that are fucking 22 years old that are like valid. It disgusts
That's
me.
funny you say that, because I've noticed that on flights for the first time ever, where I will be boarding a plane and sometimes the pilots will walk up after you, and I'm like, this guy's younger than me.
There was a
flying plane.
massive pilot shortage because they just like didn't need it for a while, and now it's all young people, and it scares the fuck out of me. It's like, dude, I don't care what, be fucking buckwheat from fucking you know, Little Rascals, but be old with gray hair.
But also, I'm okay with some risk.
What?
Like, I flew out to Jackson Hole over the winter, and the pilot refused to land. We were right there. He's like, the weather's too bad. So we had to go to Denver. But I wanted to ask everyone on the plane, can we just vote? And can we say, let's risk it? You're not going to crash the plane.
You should have
Just
tweeted it. That
Yeah,
would've gotten
I
you
should
way
have
more
tweeted
attention.
it. Yeah, right? I was like, let's just fucking risk it and land. These things are basically computers anyway. So what? There's a little ice on the runway. We'll be fine.
Computers, they haven't been updated since the fucking Reagan administration.
I know
That's the thing.
Air traffic control.
Dude, these planes.
It's old wired. Like,
if you take a look inside
our
the cockpit,
iPhone, my iPhone has more computing power than air traffic control in Newark.
If you look inside the cockpit, you will have a panic attack at all the knobs and buttons and flickering and beep boop bopping.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I've always wondered why there are so many controls in a pilot.
Well, I don't
In a
understand why they haven't
cockpit.
updated. That's like New York City. Our subways are like the worst in the world because they just haven't updated.
Yeah.
We still are on switches. There's a warehouse underground that houses every single part needed for subways that need to be fixed because we haven't updated the digital.
And there's like 3 people who are in control of the traffic on subways.
Yeah.
That's their job for the MTA. They stop, they go, they move tracks. That's an actual job. You'd think that could be automated.
Yeah.
It'd be AI.
Well,
could do
I
it.
feel like it's gotten to the point where population is so huge and things are moving so fast. It would just be such a shutdown to gridlock and such a shock to the system that you can't fix anything. Like
Right.
there's some roads, like I was on Harlem River Drive, and the road, it was like driving through the Rocky Mountains. It's like, well, they can't fix it because they can't shut it down because there's no way to divert traffic.
Ninth Avenue has been under construction for since I've been here for like 11 years.
Yeah.
I think they just got to bite the bullet and shut it down.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing during COVID. It was like, now's the time
Exactly
to fix everything. They did that with the L because there was that big L shutdown.
Oh, the L was for like a couple of years. I think.
But it's like, we need another mass casualty event to shut the world down so that we could just fix our infrastructure.
Hey, careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Oh, I know,
With
right?
the way
It's
the world's
coming.
going. What other American-related things I wrote down here. I mean, I was going to say most American wars, most American foods, most American women, most American holidays.
There was no hotter women than early 90s boobs, tan lines, and thongs.
Is that the hottest era in American?
Oh,
Since the inception of America, the 1990s is
early
the hottest
90s.
era.
Cindy Crawford, Kathy Ireland,
Pamela Anderson,
a
a high-waisted bikini, pit vipers, razor-thin eyebrows, bleach blonde
Now
hair.
everyone wants to be an Armenian like Kim Kardashian. It's gross.
Strange. It's not American. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's weird how every girl like looks like that. It's very strange.
Yeah, I don't like when. I was gonna say things I don't like that women do to make themselves look like.
Let's go.
Avoid that. You ever notice some people have the eyebrows that look like hair? They're like brushed up. I don't know if it's like
Yeah,
micro.
that's a new thing.
What
yeah.
is that?
I don't know. But that's a new
Ladies,
thing.
sound off in the comment. Is it micro needling, microblading?
Yeah, they like brush up their eyebrows. Yeah.
I just started noticing. I don't know if
the
I
one
like it
girl
or
on
not.
Love Island has that.
Yes. Which I need to start watching, by the way, Love Island. I don't watch it because there's so much content because it comes out every day.
Dude, it's crazy. I will watch
Love Island
these
cast
shows.
eyebrows.
I will watch these shows, and whoever I watch it with, I'm having them die laughing with like my commentary, and then I'm like, I should do this, like shoot this like live or whatever, and then I
Yeah.
just get
Do watch-alongs.
too many. How do you do a watch along?
You set up a camera on you, and then people watch you as they watch the game, or as they watch the show, rather.
Dude, all these people are so hot on these shows.
I know. But here's the thing. These are
Who's
all
that?
people who are still in an ugly
I
phase.
love you. That's
the
my
eyebrow.
ideal
Yeah.
woman.
She's kind of the craziest one on the show, though.
What's her name?
Huda.
Is this
Why?
the one
What's
who's-
crazy about her?
Is that the one?
No, that was a different
Okay.
one. She just was like obsessed with the guy right away and just like causing
Literally me?
drama and yeah, yes,
Literally me?
literally you. But she does brush up her eyebrow. She's not as bad in this one. But
Oh, I love her. See, I'm a liar. I'm like, every girl looks like Kim Kardashian. She's like, she looks like Jasmine, and I fucking love her. Good God.
Yeah, I don't know.
but yeah,
That'll
that
be
is
a good.
That
that'll be a
picture's
good.
so hot because it looks like she's going to be mean to me.
Yeah, that is hot. I agree with that.
You guys want to be treated poorly.
Not like mean, but just like I like to be scared a little bit.
I like
You wanna be
I like someone who
scared.
Yeah.
gives it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
it makes me want to work for mommy's love.
Oh God. Ladies, you heard it here first. If you see Ian on the street, spit in his face.
Dude,
Oh, my God.
I spit in her mouth, and this girl the other night was like, open up, and she spit in my mouth, and I was like, if I wasn't on SSRIs, I would come.
That's to each their own. To each their own. We don't kink shame here. We don't yuck people's yum. That's
Some
one thing
people
about out and
should be
about.
kink shame. Some
Some
things
can
should be kink shame.
You know, to each their own, Ian. To each their own.
Did you guys do a pride parade this year?
No, we
Am
didn't.
I responsible for you guys getting your pride parade kicked off?
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember?
I
Were
talked
you
about
here for
that on stage.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
We were I forgot about that.
You guys asked me to
We
get
had
on the
a
mic
bit
to like do
tw-
like fun, like rile the crowd up, say some
No,
funny
no, we
things.
didn't ask you to get on the mic. I think, or maybe we did.
No, yeah.
Anyways, you ended up on the mic. We had a big parade. I think it was 2023. Ton of sponsors. So there's like money on the line. The sponsors were on the float, and we were going down. We had a double-decker bus, and we're hyping people up. I'm saying, oh, thanks to get yourself some fucking Bloom, whatever, or Mamita, or whatever it is. And Ian takes the mic. And in my head, I was like, I don't know if this is the best idea. And of course, Joey didn't give a fuck.
Well, I was like, hey, who here thinks love is love? And everyone in the crowd was like, woo!
I was like next to him, ready to grab the mic. I was like, okay.
And I go, who is
good.
gay? And they go, woo!
I was like, a little more risky.
And I go, who here thinks Fauci was a liar?
And I was like, yoink! I took it. And it was very funny, but I took it and I literally hid the mic. I was like,
Dude.
we're done. The
Oh
sponsors' heads whipped around.
And
They're
I'm
like,
wearing a
"Brr?"
shirt that said, who ate all the bussy?
Yes,
It
yes.
was just out of control.
That is so funny. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, and I remember you guys being like, where's the mic? I was like, I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
It must be gone.
I just remember someone looking very important running down the aisle
Yes,
like this
yes.
towards me, and you going, Ian, no.
But it was one of those things where I was talking to the sponsors in the front of the bus, and I was listening. I was like half listening to them, but my right ear was just waiting for him to say something.
That's funny.
And everyone in the crowd was kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure the crowd loved that too.
I
Oh,
really,
yeah, I'm sure they
dude,
loved it all
having
right.
them riled up. Yeah, we're gay. Love is love. And
Some
then
people clapped, though. They
Fauci's
were like,
a liar. They're like, yeah, no, what?
Yeah.
I was like, ha, not dude.
This
Tell
is-
me who ate all the pussy.
this was like freshly out of all that, too. We were like
Yeah.
on the tail end. Everyone still had PTSD from everything that fucking happened. God, that was so funny. And he turned out to be a liar. So you were ahead of, so you were ahead of the curve.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
oh
was.
my God,
That's
that was
true.
great.
Dude, when I was asking who ate all the pussy, it was a resounding butch Dominican lesbian every time.
Yeah.
I did. I was like,
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
you can have it.
It was a stud.
Yeah. Oh, lots of studs.
Oh, that was great. Maybe I will do the Pride Parade coming up. We have the whole week of the 4th off. Oh, if you're in Massachusetts and you have a boat and you want to take me on the boat, I'd love to go for a boat ride. That's what I wanted. I feel like that's one of the best summertime, most American things you can do is go on a boat.
Dude.
I want a boat more than I want anything in the fucking world.
We used to go on my buddy's boat and on the jet ski, and we
That's
would have
trash.
a code.
Jet
We
skis
would
are
have a
trash.
code word for smoking weed. We'd be like, "We gotta go have a business meeting," and then me and a couple of my friends would go like get
No,
ripped.
so-
So
picked up
no
on
one
that.
picked up on it. That's very cool.
And then
Yeah.
it was like, we gotta meet with the CEO. you know? And then we go get ripped and go out on the boat. It was the best. I'll never forget. It was a week before I went to rehab. I was at the beach with my buddy, and I was like, dude, I figured it out. I'm only gonna get fucked up on the weekends. This is heaven. I'm only gonna see God on the weekends.
Yes.
Let's go. And he's like, good man, good. You're controlling it. And then the next week,
Yeah,
I
your
was
friend,
like,
your enabler
in
friend. Hey,
rehab.
that's great. You're really
Yeah.
controlling it.
No, he was like, dude, this guy had my back so many times of just, and it's so funny because when I went to rehab, all my friends were just starting to date their now wives. And so they only saw me when I was a mess. So they were like,
They're all
one of
settling
my
down,
friends'
you're going to
wives,
rehab.
girlfriends was like, why do you fuck around with this guy? He's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You know, because they only saw me as like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget being like, dude, I'm only gonna get fucked up here on the weekends, and then like
That's hilarious.
it was just like a bender that ended up in rehab.
That's funny. When I go home now, I realize my friends are all married with kids. I even like in the past couple of years, I used to text me like, "Oh, let's go grab a beer," when I'm home. And now I'm realizing they can't. They're doing
Yeah.
bedtime. They're doing bath time. They have real lives. They have families.
Now, how does that make you feel? Because that for me,
Sad and alone, mostly.
really, because
Yeah.
that reaffirms like, nah, dude, you did the right thing not having a family. Like you're infinitely, even though like. It's like, you know that phrase, it's like the worst day fishing is the best day breathing or something
Yes.
shit like that. It's like my worst day childless is my best day.
I get it.
I'm better off without
Yes,
a family.
yes. Yeah,
Fuck
I
those
think
kids.
I go back and forth. Part of me wants
Easy.
to have a family. Part of me
Me
doesn't.
too. Whenever I see
I
a
just get
woman, whenever I
annoyed by
see
the
someone
screaming.
pushing like a stroller with a dog, my ovaries start bursting. Like,
Right.
you should have a family.
Yeah.
And then like I'll talk to my friends like, dude, this kid's throwing up and this and that and the bedtime.
My
blah."
nephew
I'm like,
through up
"No
into
way."
my brother's mouth.
Ew,
Good
what?
God,
2
some people
mornings
pay
ago.
for that.
He had there's like hand, foot, and mouth going around. So he got sick. He's a year and a
What?
half old.
Is
Apparently
that because
kids get
people
that.
aren't getting vaccinated?
Must be.
It's crazy.
I have no idea, but he was sick, and my brother went and got him. He was like shitting and puking in his crib. 10:30 at night. These kids go to bed at like 7 p.m. Picks him up. My brother's talking to him.
Oh.
He said it looked like cottage cheese.
Ew, dude. Stop.
And then the next morning, he feels better. He's on the couch with a popsicle. My brother's still like shaking, shell shocked, and throw up.
No, I'm good with my cats.
What are your cats' names?
Samson and Glenn.
Samson and Glenn.
Like
You're still in that
Glenn.
same place in Brooklyn?
Samson.
I love it.
Yeah.
You have dogs. Vinny has a dog, not a cat.
Hendrix.
Hendrix.
Oh, nice. I want to get Elvis tattooed here and Jimmy tattooed here for Jimi Hendrix.
What pisses
do
me
it.
off is when people are like, "Oh, Hendrix after the gin." I'm like,
That's what
fucking,
I thought.
What?
fucking no, dude. Like,
What's it after? Jimi Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought gin immediately.
I didn't even know there was a gin.
Yeah.
I'm so far out of the drinking game. I don't know any of these new little things.
It's funny. I do these pride parties, and so I'm doing one in San Diego on July 18th. I expect all of Man Mafia there, and I forgot what I was gonna say. The pride parties. Oh, I don't drink a lot. like outside of when I have to, but I still got it.
Mm.
We were still boozing it up late at night. I do enjoy a cocktail still. It's just the hangover is what gets me. I
I
cannot.
never had a cocktail.
What do you mean?
Aren't cocktails like the?
I'm sorry.
Aren't cocktails like the like a martini?
Yeah, or like a
Margarita.
Bay Breeze margarita.
Never had one.
Really, straight liquor.
I was such trash. I went down to Dogfish Head Brewery and told the guy, I was like, "This is garbage. I like a Schlitz." And the guy kicked me out of the brewery.
No
He's like,
way.
"Get the fuck out of here."
You would do regular, just straight up vodka.
Rock Gut Vodka,
Yeah, I like
Georgie,
that.
Pop Off, Crystal Palace, Canadian Club
Crystal
Whiskey.
Palace.
Crystal Palace, $11.99, half
Sure.
gallon plastic bottle, so when you drop it, it doesn't break.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had Liquor World vodka. It was the vodka that was
Mm.
made by.
Yeah,
The liquor store.
I never got into I never had a martini or a cocktail. Never had a margarita. It was always just trash from the start. Yeah.
Trash from. That should be the title of the episode.
That's American.
That's American. Trash from the start.
Yeah.
Trash from the start. Happy birthday, America.
Woo!
Trash from the start. How long have we been going, Vin?
Hour 15.
About an hour 15.
Whoa.
Maybe we should wrap this thing up. I feel
Let's
like I could
do
talk
it.
to you forever.
Yeah, this is great. You're gonna come on me and Jordan's show.
I'd love to. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone for listening. I hope everyone does have a fantastic 4th of July.
And thank you for the messages I get of people saying that you enjoyed me on the show. I've said it before, but you guys have always made me feel comfortable and welcome as a queer person, and not many people do. And so I'm always grateful for you guys for that.
Appreciate that very much. And that's American. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, Man Mafia. Go have yourself a summer day. You deserve it. The 4th of July is on a Friday. Go have a couple beers, have some apple pie, throw a baseball, light some fireworks off. Get
Yeah.
a DUI.
Yeah.
Do anything you want to do. That's American. We love
Do it.
you.
This
We
might
will
be the
s-
last one we have. So
might
let's go
be-
out it with a bang.
This might be the last one we have. See you next week. Goodbye.